All right, you guys. Should back up a little bit. If you are here and you see me or hear me, say hello. I'll give everybody a minute for anyone that wants to join, and we can chat. Hopefully the wind isn't as bad today as it was last time. Hello, Tammy. I'm good today. I feel much better than the last live when I was sick. Hi, Debbie. Glad you guys can be here. How's the weather where you guys are today? Is it chilly? It's pretty cold here. I think it's probably 40s. It's not like snowy or anything, but it feels like Thanksgiving week. That's for sure. It actually, weather-wise, feels like Thanksgiving week, but it doesn't seem like Thanksgiving's tomorrow. I've had such like a whirlwind of stuff that I've been doing. I haven't even really had time to like stop and think about making food for people, but we keep it pretty simple. Probably for the past 3 or 4 years, we've just done Thanksgiving at our house, usually with my parents, and I have one aunt that will come. And I actually told my mom, she like offered generously to pay for the groceries since we make all of the food. And I was like, I don't think there's any groceries we need to buy. Like, we have everything that we need. We have the turkey, we have potatoes, we've got, I mean, we could pretty much make a Thanksgiving dinner any time of year with our stockpile of food. So that's comforting. It won't be too bad, I don't think. I'm going to make a pie and some mac and cheese later today, just so I have one less thing to do in the morning. But otherwise, we'll be good to go. We are going to do something different with the turkey this year, though. I shared on Instagram, I think we raised like 9 or 10 turkeys last year, and we sold all of them except for 2. One of them we used for our Thanksgiving meal last year. And then we had another one that never sold. So it's been like in the bottom of my chest freezer. And I was going to sell it and I never did. And then we didn't end up raising turkeys this year. So I figured we would just use it. But it's pretty big. It's like 22 pounds, I think it said. And my electric roaster that I use for like everything, for tomatoes and applesauce and lard and chicken stock. It's a 22 quart roaster, and I really work that thing to death. And it's been a little bit finicky. So I don't want to risk putting a 22-pound bird in there and having it like stop working partway through cooking. So I think I decided that we're going to spatchcock and smoke the turkey on like our really big smoker. It's like an old fuel, like just huge tank. I mean, it's like the size of this desk. It's what we used to do our whole pig roast last month when we had our Homesteaders event. So I'm sure that the turkey will fit on there because a 90-pound bird fit on there. But we'll just cut out like the backbone, and then if you've never spatchcocked, you basically like open the bird so it lays flat, and it cooks faster because it's completely open. And yeah, I think that's the plan. We just decided that like yesterday that we were going to do that. So if Tommy does the turkey, my parents are going to do a few things. I'll just have to do some veggies, and it'll be pretty simple. It shouldn't be too crazy. But what about you guys? You have big Thanksgiving plans? Anything exciting? Any fun family traditions? We're so boring. We're just like, yeah, food. That's about it. I still have to milk the cow. We still have to butcher some pigs this weekend. So life doesn't really stop at the holidays when you have farm things going on. What else would I was going to chat with you guys about? Oh, so for Friday, I have something kind of exciting. Um, I don't think I've mentioned it on here at all. So, anytime that there's like a time of year that's focused on just really heavy consumerism, like Black Friday or Prime Day or basically like any holiday, I just kind of have like this natural tendency to resist the consumerism of it. Though I do like getting a good deal. If it's something that I was already going to get, I will take advantage of it. I'm not going to pretend like I'm perfectly anti consumerism. But it's the mindless consumerism. It's the shopping just for the sake of shopping. So, anyways, in kind of response to Black Friday, I decided that I'm not going to like share a bunch of affiliate links or anything like that. I have a freebie that I'm going to offer, and I have collaborated with, there's 6 of us total, so 5 other women, and it'll be available for 48 hours. And what it is that it's a collection of downloads, like printable resources that are focused on running your homestead in either like a more productive or more profitable way. So the women that are going to have resources in this freebie collection. Um, Quinn from Quillhaven Farm has a incredible garden planner. She makes like the most beautiful planner resources. She's very organized. And her garden planner, it's like 30 pages long. It's so awesome. I can't wait to print it and use it because that's something I've never made before. Um, so a garden planner is one item. There is a resource about stocking your pantry or creating like a well-stocked pantry on a budget. That's from Jess from Silo and Sage. There is a resource about um, homemaking. It kind of like specifically how to keep your homemaking in check when you're also homesteading and homeschooling and doing all of these other things, and just how to balance that, which I probably could use as well. And that's from Jen at Rekindled Roots. Um, I have contributed a resource that is kind of leading into the new ebook that I'm going to be offering next week, which is called Hosting on the Homestead. And that's all about how to like run events on your farm, whether it's just like a social event or a class or a workshop. So my freebie is basically a list of, I didn't even count. There's probably 100 or more ideas of different events that you could host on your farm. And I'll talk more about this when my ebook comes out, but hosting events is kind of a two-part motive. Like the first and foremost is obviously an opportunity to impact people, to give them experience, to teach, to connect and create community. But it's also a really great opportunity for income streams. Um, we are a really small footprint homestead. We're only 5 acres, so we can't raise thousands of meat chickens to sell and make income off of. But we could have 20 different groups of people through learning how to do meat chickens with us and really make a lot of income off of that. We don't do that many meat chickens classes, but it's a great opportunity to generate kind of extra income. And I think when you start teaching things, it just really reinforces what you know, as well. So that's mine freebie. So garden planner, cleaning, pantry stocking, hosting events. What are the other 2 things? The other 2 are, Leah Lynch is somebody who she does a lot of resources on running your homestead as a business, and not even like necessarily as a full-time thing, but just making it pay for itself. So she has a guide that's like the 9 tips to starting your backyard business, backyard homesteading business. And then the last one is a meal planning guide. It's a seasonal meal planning guide from Heather at Northridge Farm, who again is so like organized and detailed and just really good at like growing and then also utilizing what you're growing in a mindful way. And yeah, so anyways, that'll be free. That'll be available Friday and Saturday. Um, I'll have the link on Instagram, but I'll put it on here too. So if you guys want to get it, there's probably over 100 pages total of like different usable things. But that is my little going against Black Friday and making people buy things. I'm just going to give you something for free for free. And hopefully it will bless your homesteads and help you to be more productive and profitable. Um, what else? Any questions you guys have? I am going to be doing a video once my 30-day challenge is done, updating on the kitchen. I think it's probably been 2.5 months since I've done an update on it. Um, but we're slow and steady making progress. We had the cabinet installed, and then we had to make the countertop. And Tommy is like forever just making my dreams of turning really crappy things into like what I envision them being. And we bought a huge slab of bowling alley. I think it was like 10 foot long by 40 inches wide. And I wanted that to be like our butcher block countertop for the new sink cabinet. But the sink cabinet isn't just like a straight cabinet. It like comes and jets out where the sink is. So he had to kind of like notch out, and the countertop is like this thick. It's like the world's thickest countertop. Um, but he had to notch it all out. He had to sand it. He had to make the hole for the sink. And then I was kind of putzing picking out a faucet so he could do the hole for the faucet. But I finally picked out the faucet. So the countertop is in. It still needs to be coated and still have to have the sink actually like attached and the faucet hooked up. But once that's done and we get the backsplash up behind it, the beadboard, I'm going to make an updated video and talk all about how the painted floors are holding up and just kind of give a full summary of that project. Hi, Amanda. Do I know of any homesteading groups that meet in Michigan looking for one that's like Homesteaders of America? So yes. Where are you, Amanda? Remind me if I feel like I thought you were in my area, West Michigan, Greater Grand Rapids area. There is a conference. I think it's in May. Howard City. Okay, so you're super close to me. There's going to be a conference in May. I think it's going to be in Lake Odessa, Michigan, which is just east of Grand Rapids. It's called Mitten Homesteaders. And I might be speaking at it. They asked me to, and I said that I would. I think I was going to speak about maybe small scale meat raising, maybe. Mitten Homesteaders, though, is their Instagram account, and I think they have a website too. But that's not far. I mean, that's probably an hour from you at the most. Other groups, I mean, I have like groups of friends that I meet with that you can join. You can be in our group. You're close. So, yeah, I think the best thing you can do, there's a lot of Facebook groups for Michigan homesteading too, like Homesteaders of Michigan, Michigan Homesteading, Michigan Homesteaders, Homesteaders of West Michigan. If you look on Facebook, there's a tons of local groups like that too. What else do I need to chat about with you guys? Talked about the freebie. You're welcome, Amanda. My last video for 30 days is going to be Saturday. So I kind of did this to give me a chance to not post a formal video today, but then I'll have one tomorrow, Thursday, and that is finishing the orchard garden, which I'm pretty happy to have done. Friday's video is to be determined, and then Saturday's video will just kind of be like a recap of the whole 30 days. So, like a whole kind of before and after summary. So, I don't think I will have my strawberries done. I kind of am just like, I don't have it in me. So, I need to do an update of the greenhouse door too. I don't think I ever showed that completely finished, but after the 30 days is done, I can finally like turn off my YouTube video everyday brain and dive into Christmas present making brain because I have at least like 11 or 12 things on my need to crochet list for Christmas. I don't know if I should tell you guys on here. Sometimes my kids watch YouTube. Um, I don't think they would watch this video though, because this would be kind of boring. Garden window, greenhouse question. Are you only using wood windows or a mix? I think that all of the ones that I have are wood framed windows. I definitely don't have any vinyl ones. I'm trying to think. I might have a couple metal ones that I just had gotten, not that I'll for sure use them, but most of mine are wood framed. Happy Thanksgiving, Emily. Where is Luther? Is that north? That sounds familiar. A lot of Michigan friends. That's fun. But yeah, Amanda, when we eventually make our window greenhouse, most of the ones I have are wood, but not that you couldn't use vinyl. It's just that I feel like people don't give vinyl windows away as freely as they do wooden framed ones. But I also like the old wood windows tend to be the ones that have more like detail as far as like the panes kind of have, the crossing detail, and I like that look. Robin, do you think the canning roaster meat makes it more tender? Canning roaster meat making it more tender. In regards to venison, absolutely. Because for years we would do like partly freezing our venison, partly canning it. And everybody in our family, like even the kids that don't really have like the verbiage of like, this is more tender. Even the kids are like, we want the canned meat. It's so much better. So we will prioritize canning venison over any other meat. I don't know that it makes the pork more tender. I also like to do ground beef when I have it. And I don't know that that's really much of a difference. Most of the stew meat that we stewed, like beef that we canned last year, it was very tender. I don't recall what cuts I used specifically for that though. Um, when we were processing that steer, that was our first steer. And that was just like, it was such a whirlwind. It's just so much meat. Like cutting up a cow, he wasn't even that big of a cow. I think hanging weight, he was like, I have it written down, but between 600 and 700 pounds, I feel like if I remember correctly. But it's just so much meat to deal with. So it's kind of a blur when you're in it. And I wanted to take like more videos even this weekend when I was canning the venison and the sausage. But it's just like when you're doing something like that and you're in it, it's so, your hands are dirty because you're touching meat constantly. Like I can't stop and like be moving a camera around. So Tammy asked, how many kids do we have? How many of each? New to my channel. We have 7. There are 2 girls and 5 boys, if I can math that. Sometimes I forget that we have 5 boys. I'll like see people online that are like, life with 5 boys. I'm like, wow, 5's crazy. Oh, wait a minute. We have 5 boys. So my oldest is a girl. She's 13. And then there are 2 boys and then another girl. And then there's 3 boys. The 3 little boys are 4, 2, and almost 10 months. And those 3 are like the closest we've ever had in age. And I mean, I'm glad that my first 3 weren't 3 boys in that short of a timeline because it's a little bit of madness having 3 boys that close in age that are so young. It's fun, but it's like they're a lot. Like if I didn't have big kids to help me kind of keep an eye on them, it would be a lot. So, yep, that's our people halfway between Grand Rapids and Traverse City. Okay, I was kind of thinking north. Hi, Crystal from Jackson County. Found you a few months ago. Oh, thanks for following. Appreciate it. Hey, hey. 53 minutes from us. It's a handful. It is. It's busy, but it's very, very fun. We're very blessed. I wonder how far Luther would be. How far are you from like Cadillac? I mean, Cadillac's kind of in between Grand Rapids and Traverse City. We have good friends. They're on YouTube. We have 2 different channels actually. Baker's Green Acres is the name of their farm, and then they also have a YouTube channel that's more like education-based content, not just like daily life content, and that's called the Anyone Can Farm Experience. Mark and Jill Baker, their farms in Marion, which is like just maybe 20 miles east of Cadillac, and we go there often for like homesteader type social events. They're a great resource for not just community but learning. That's where we took our pig butchering class originally. We've taken a couple classes there. We took a class there last year about like tree propagation and water and things like that. All right. How long have I been on here? 22 minutes. Sweet. Oh yeah, Robin, you're up that way too. I didn't realize your farm was called Nowhere Acres. I like that. Oh yeah, so Christmas stuff. I was gonna say, so for the kids, all 7 of them, if I can manage it, and I kind of want to make one for myself too. I usually will crochet them each one thing, not always the same thing. Like last year, I made my second oldest boy a sweater, and I did some ornaments and hats and just like random things. Like everybody had a different crocheted item from me. But this year I'm going to make them all the same thing, and I'm going to make them all slippers with like a leather bottom. I'm like automatically whispering in case they're standing at the door, which they're not, they're eating lunch, but a leather bottom, and I'm going to make them all slippers because our house is old and cold, and anytime I put socks on my little boys, especially, they're like instantly falling on the wood floors. So I thought something with a little bit of traction um, would probably be helpful to keep their feet warm. But they're going to be all different. I don't think I'll do the same pattern for all of them because I like variety. But yeah, that's my bigger crochet project. And the challenge with that one is that like sometimes if I'm making something, I can work on it and they can't really tell what it is, so I can work on it in front of them. But I've never made anything with like a leather bottom before. So I know all of them are going to instantly be like, "What is this?" And they're going to figure it out. So I'm going to have to like exclusively work on it after bedtime, which just limits my time to work on it, obviously. If I was only making it for like 1 or 2 of them, I could just be like, it's this for that person, but don't tell them. But because they're all going to have the same thing, I have to be a little bit more secretive about it. But that's one of the things on my list. I also need to crochet a stocking for George, our youngest, because he was not, I think I have to make him a stocking. I'm almost positive I do. Um, I have a different stocking pattern for each kid, and I mean, I was pregnant last Christmas, but I don't think I like pre-made a stocking for the anticipated baby. So that has to get done. I have a few friends that I'm making gifts for that I don't want to say on here. Yep, Robin knows the bakers. Are you still getting milk from them? They have raw milk. They do chickens and pork and turkeys. They probably have some turkeys available if you're up north in the Cadillac area and you need one. They'd be a great people to grab one last minute from. But yeah, Christmas will be the focus, of course, of all of December when I'm not doing crazy video creating, and I'll just go back to my once a week Friday video is the plan. But that's all I had to share, you guys. That was all I was going to chat about. Once again, I didn't take a sip of my coffee the entire time. Any other questions? Any other fun things you guys are doing this weekend? I expect all of you guys finished your garden work and you were on top of it, except for maybe overgrown strawberry patches. Yes, you do get milk from the bakers. I'm about to need to get milk from somebody. My Betsy cow is, I mean, she's so far into her lactation. She calved in May of 2022. So what would that have been? 18 months ago, almost 19 months ago. Um, she's far into her lactation. And if you missed it, she was supposed to be calving in this week, actually. So she was due on Thanksgiving, but she ended up miscarrying and we didn't know that. So now she's bred and she's due June 15th or 14th, I think. So I'm trying to milk her until our other milk cow calves in February. I think middle February is when Casey is due. But Betsy is like a gallon and a quart, maybe a gallon and a quarter a day. Like it's not much. It really dropped off when I switched her to hay, I think. So that stinks. Let's say Ma KG processing 3 deer. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. So when you process, do you can them? Are you freezing them? Are you doing meat sticks? I really want to do some like beef stick, well, not beef, but like not jerky, but like the sticks, you know? I bought the casings for them when I bought the casings for all of our pork sausage. And that's something we've never done before. And I really want to do that this year. I need to get a good recipe, something that's not like a pre-packaged mix. And I'm okay with like smoking them. They don't have to be like 100% just naturally cured. But um bulk food supplies. Okay, Amanda, be more specific. Do you mean herbs? Do you mean like baked goods? Do you mean I mean, I guess that's the bulk of it. All the dried pantry stuff. Some of the above. I liked ground jerky or in sticks, but I don't have casings. Okay, cool. The only thing I miss is a deer meat. I love venison so much. Tammy, I bet you can make a deal with somebody. I mean, my husband could hunt, but he doesn't. We just make a deal with a friend that loves to hunt because a lot of people, they do. They love to hunt just for like the fun of it, and they don't necessarily need all the meat. So if you're willing to pay for their tag or process it for them, have a few steaks this weekend. The bakers did? Sweet. Herbs and baked good. Okay, so I think it was, I don't remember what video it was. The video I posted a couple of days ago about breakfast sausage seasoning, I shared a company, maybe I didn't put the link in that video, but Essential Organics, I think it's just essentialorganics.com or .org. They are a great source for herbs and basically any of your dried goods like your baking powder. They even have like popcorn and cornmeal. And I order from them probably twice a year, but I do like cross check the pricing. Like I haven't found them to be the most economical just for like everything across the board. And if you're not committed to buying things like 100% organic, which I'm just not in a season where I can justify that in our budget. So I try to prioritize, things like seasonings that are going to go across so many different meals with the sausage. And I mean, I season everything, obviously. I like to have those be organic, just because they're the most affordable, price wise. Whereas other things like if I have to buy butter, I don't always buy organic butter just because the price is so much more. But um yeah, if I order in bulk, there is an Azure standard drop off in Pearson now. Did you see that? I had wanted an Azure drop off closer than Grand Rapids for, I mean, a long time, and the closest one was way down in GR, but there's one right in Pearson. I haven't ordered yet, but that is supposedly good pricing too, and that's a lot of people's go-to for good options. All right. Well, we're at 31 minutes. So I'm going to sign off, go help grandma feeding everybody lunch. Thanks for guys for coming to chat with me. And I hope that you all that are Americans have a great Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you guys soon.